thank you and good morning. Thanks for joining us on a bit of a messy morning. I do have some highlights today for you for the video State of the Nation industry survey that we've recently run. So listen up, you've got a chance to win a Yummy Mood tea pack. So at the end of my presentation, I'm going to ask you a question based on one of the survey results. And the first to put their hands up in the air with the right answer is going to win the tea. So let's get started. So this is the third wave that we've run of the Video State of the Nation survey. We've conducted it with the independent research group, Hoop Group, and we've surveyed advertising decision makers that have bought digital video on connected TV, computer, smartphone or tablet. And this includes video advertising on all varieties of long form, short form content and social platforms. So as Matt said, digital video across screens continues to grow as a significant part of marketing activities. We've got very high usage here. As you know, Australians spent nearly $3.3 billion on digital video advertising in 2022, and it represents 60% of general display expenditure. Most respondents in our survey had digital video on mobile and computer as a regular part of their activity, and 76% had connected TV. We've seen agencies increasingly move to a centralised and consolidated screens and format approach to planning and buying, which is great for that optimal ROI. So we have seen those bumper spend levels, particularly early 22, but of course we're seeing some economic pressures creep in and marketers taking a bit more of a cautious approach at the moment. So in response to these pressures, we can see some changes going on in our survey results this year that are a response to those. So reach, targeting, attention and brand building, they continue to be the key drivers of usage for digital video advertising across all screens. Compared to last year, most of these drivers are just slightly weaker, with the exception of a couple. So brand building quite flat, but brand storytelling increasing 3 percentage points. And with the shorter planning cycles that we're seeing at the moment, shorter activation times than in what is possible on linear TV is also a stronger driver of video this year, so that's up 6 percentage points. So looking here specifically at connected TV, which has the greatest share of content publishers' video expenditure across devices, the ability to reach audiences that are no longer on linear TV is the main reason why advertisers have connected TV as a significant or regular part of their activities. Incremental reach and audience targeting also are significant reasons for its usage. For those who don't actually have CTV as part of their regular activity, the primary barriers that we're seeing there are budget, cost, and proving that ROI. In Australia, these barriers don't seem to be related to the current macroeconomic situation. So that was not chosen as a barrier at the moment for CTV, which is actually quite different to the US market. So the IAB in the US have done a very similar study, which shows that macroeconomic conditions were the number one barrier. Just an interesting side note on how the increase in CTV ad spending is funded in the US market. So from this similar US study, we found that the CTV spending is primarily coming from a reallocation of budget from other places, so from linear TV or other digital advertising. There was 31% were funding it by actual expansion of budget. So back to our market, increasing brand awareness remains the dominant objective for digital video campaigns and TV this year. However, we are seeing some changes in campaign objectives that are related to the current economic market. There is a slight decrease in the use of digital video and TV for branding, but a more significant shift, I guess, towards using digital video for lower funnel objectives. Specifically, the use of digital video on computer and mobile for driving purchase intent was up 6 percentage points, and for driving sales was up 10 percentage points on last year. So real, shift to that lower funnel. Still got really high satisfaction for digital video in meeting those branding objectives. And those campaigns that were targeted at that lower objective are also working. So we're seeing a significant increase in agency satisfaction for campaigns where purchase intent was the objective, which is great. So how are we assessing the effectiveness of our digital advertising on video? A lot happening with measurement this year. So with budgets under such close scrutiny and the impending retirement of third-party cookies, agencies have increased focus on measurement tools that provide them with campaign delivery and provide them with sales performance results. So in preparation for the retirement of the cookie, we can see over the last few years of this study that movement towards sustainable measurement techniques. The campaign delivery metric of reach and frequency remains the top KPI that's used to assess success, which demonstrates an agency's media planning success. The importance of market mix modelling has increased from 32 to 45% here. It's become the third most important technique, and that's due to its non-cookie reliance and its delivery of ROI and sales insights. There's been a transference of importance in brand tracking. So from the trusty digital-only brand lift study that everybody uses towards more of a cross-screen brand lift approach. But brand lift still remains one of the key objectives of measuring success. With our focus on that lower funnel objective this year, so some people would be getting their sales insights from MMM, but we also have multi-touch attribution, an online and offline conversion increasing or coming back up in importance this year. Could be a bit of those geo-lift experiment sort of techniques coming in there as well. So with the degradation in signals, MTA of course is very challenging to get that full customer journey of every touch point across the journey now. So marketers will increasingly be conducting this in more pockets, relying on a lot of modelling and using it in combination with other techniques to get the full picture of success. So we only had 8% of agencies also say that they think that the carbon footprint calculator is an important measurement tool. But we do have an open-ended question that you can have a look at the report. Many agencies view that this will become a more prominent metric, but currently there's a very little clarity on how that actually works. So short form video remains the most used format. If you look at a range of different formats that you can use, we've got nearly all of agencies using short form and half of them using it always. There is this year higher usage of those shoppable formats. So not surprising, they offer that direct way for consumers to discover products and click to buy within the video. And to our signals, so again a very diverse range of data signals being used to inform targeting and creative for digital video advertising. Most commonly again age and gender, but in preparation for the retirement of third-party cookies and signal loss, we can see again that reliance on first-party data coming back up again. With the increase in the usage of mobile for those lower funnel objectives, we can also see that link here to an increase in the usage of location-based signals. So we can see here agencies are potentially relying on some data signals that are at risk from the loss in signals and privacy reform. We've got 36% of agencies reporting that they're not yet making preparations for cookie retirement. So very important that we need to get on that one. And just finally, we asked our respondents to identify their 3 challenges for driving greater investment into digital video advertising into the future. And again this year, the 3 challenges remain around measurement, with attribution coming up to the top of that list this year. As I mentioned, attribution, one of those techniques that are highly impacted by the degradation in signals. Attribution now will have lots of different meanings for different marketers. It is really important for marketers to understand how the tech changes and privacy is going to impact their measurement, and work out how they're going to fill those gaps and combine with other techniques to get that holistic picture. This year, the IAB endorsed Ipsos Iris Digital Audience Measurement System has launched and will be a step forward for cross-media planning data. So available later this year, we'll have CTV audience data, integration from a partnership with OzTam, and we'll have integration of YouTube data to provide that total unduplicated digital audience currency data across CTV, smartphone, tablet and computer. So that should help here. So just a quick what to do now before I give you your question. Continue to invest in digital video for long-term success. So we know that strong brands are really critical to weather this economic downturn. But you can make your digital video campaigns work harder across multiple objectives. And we are seeing those small screens, being used quite successfully for lower funnel objectives. Continue to get effective reach, accessing, your incremental audiences on digital video. From a measurement perspective, always set out to align your campaign objectives with your measurement. Keep experimenting with formats and creative, and ensure that creative is tailored for the environment that you're running your creative in. Of course, prepare for the third-party cookie retirement, and just understand the opportunities that are available to you in that industry-endorsed cross-media data that's coming soon. So the question that you've been waiting for, and I'll get some IAB people to watch out the crowd for me. I'm looking for first hands up for this question. So what is the #1 top driver for continuing to use digital video advertising into the future? No. #1, it is a driver, definitely. It's one of the top 5. We're after the #1. Yes, very well done. You've got some tea coming your way. So you can download the full report from the IAB website.